All right, good day to all of you. Thank you for joining us for this session today. We have Raul, the Chief Advocate at ReferralCandy. So a little about Raul. So as I told you, he's the Chief Advocate at ReferralCandy, which is an app that allows e-commerce brands to set up and run customer referral programs. And Raul currently leads the company's partnership efforts, working alongside agencies, medias, and tech companies. And as you know, referral marketing is a blend of organic content, community marketing, and influencer marketing. And word of mouth is a powerful channel for both successful global names as well as new and niche brands. So we have Raul talking about the top 5 learnings and mistakes as a partner manager. And Raul, we are very happy to have you on stage today with us. The stage is yours.
Thank you. No, it's my pleasure. Let me just share my screen real quick so we can start. But yeah, no, it's a pleasure for me to be here. Thank you so much for the invitation. I hope that this talk is relevant to. Oops, I went straight to the end. Give me just 1 second. I went to the Q&A session right away. Let me just go back. So what I was saying is that this presentation, it's a little bit personal in the sense that it's based on my experience as a partner manager at ReferralCandy, which again, we are a SaaS company, but every SaaS company is different, and we work with different type of clients and different type of partners. So what I'm going to share today might not resonate 100% with people here in the audience, but I think in general terms, everybody that works in partnerships can probably agree on some of the topics that I'm going to discuss today. As mentioned earlier, I'm the Chief Advocate here at ReferralCandy. For those of you who don't know much about ReferralCandy, we are a company that was, by the way, you can see my screen, right? Yes. It should be all working right now.
Good,
cool,
yeah.
Awesome. Yes, we're a company that was founded in Singapore in 2010. We have served over 30,000 brands to date. We're currently leading the referral marketing SaaS for e-commerce, and we mostly cater small and medium-sized businesses, so small and medium brands. And our partner programs is aimed towards e-commerce marketing agencies. So that's e-commerce marketing agencies are kind of like the main target of companies that we work with and that we want to build partnership with, mostly because it's kind of like makes a lot of sense in the sense that they can use our product on their customers by running campaigns for them. So for us, it's ideal to have connections with agencies because that allows us to have access to multiple clients at once. So I'm the one in charge of running this program that we launched when I joined the company in 2016. And there's a lot of things I've learned in this past 5 years. And these are 5 things I would like to share with you. I'll go into details about all of this, but obviously the red marks are mistakes. The green check marks are either solutions or things that I guess that I've done well. But as you can see, there are more mistakes than successes. I would say I like to learn more from mistakes because that's when you actually learn. And so yeah, I hope that this is relevant to most of you. But before I actually dive into it, I would like to give a quick introduction on how I ended up doing partner management. So kind of like the sort of I ended up here at ReferralCandy. We have to go back to 2016. So back then, I had been working for 2 years at a company based in Chile, in Santiago. Right after college, pretty much went to live abroad, and I moved to Chile, and I ended up working for a French startup there. We were a really small team, and with no experience in sales before that, I ended up being kind of like the main salesperson at the startup, which kind of allowed me to discover the world of sales, and the fact that I wasn't bad at it is something that I liked, and something that I was able to kind of like get skills fairly quickly. So that was the experience that made me decide that I wanted to build a career in sales or business development. But in 2016. Again, I had been working for that company for about 2 years, really good experience, but I wanted to work in software. I wanted to sell software because the company that I was working for was more kind of like a recruiting / consulting company. And so I was browsing AngelList, and I came across
sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, yes?
Yes. So
Yeah.
your screen is a little blurred.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me.
Yes. Sure. Yeah.
Is it any better?
No, it's still the same. Could you maybe try stop sharing and then sharing again? That could fix it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that real quick. Okay. How about now?
Yes, it's much better. Yeah. Looks good.
Okay. Awesome. So yeah, I ended up on AngelList on the job section, and I came across ReferralCandy because I was looking for companies that had sales openings, and ReferralCandy was one of them. And I came across the kind of like the whole concept of referral marketing and the fact that you were able to turn your customer base into your sales team, into your marketing team. That was extremely attractive, and I wasn't really that familiar with that type of marketing before. So I decided to apply, but instead of applying through the job board, I decided to send an email to the CEO directly, telling them how good I thought it was for the position and why I thought we had to work together. And Dinesh, the CEO of the company, ended up replying a few days later, and kind of the rest of it is history. But the reason why I wanted to tell you guys this story is to tell you kind of where I come from. I come from a little bit of a sales background before I dove into the partnerships angle, and so that has affected a lot how I transition into this partnerships position, and a lot of the mistakes that I ended up making and the learnings that I got from that are actually from my background in sales. So I'll get into that in a second. So mistake number one, lesson number one is don't make any assumptions. In my experience, the worst 4 words that any partner manager with experience, or actually any person with experience that's joining a new role, the worst thing they can say is, at my previous company, we were doing X. So using your experience at your previous company, it usually leads to bad decisions because every single company is different. In my case, when I was working at my previous company, and I was pretty much the only salesperson, I had to build a sales process from scratch. And I built that sales process laying very heavily on outbound sales and cold emailing. And that actually worked really well back then because it allowed me to get on calls with potential clients, get on those calls, and then get them through a sales funnel, and eventually turn them into actual clients. So I did the same thing when I joined ReferralCandy. I started building a list of potential partners. So in this case, I went after marketing agencies in general, started reaching out to a lot of people, had a lot of calls, but wasn't really moving the needle that much. And if I had done a little bit of research and I had seen how other companies maybe were building partner programs in kind of like the same area, instead of just jumping right off into the sales approach, I would have saved a lot of time that I probably missed at the beginning. So don't make any assumptions, and instead ask questions to find truth. And again, this is something that not only applies to partner marketing or just partner management in general. It applies to pretty much any position out there. So even if you've been operating in the same industry for a while, always, whenever you're joining a new company on a new role, ask around. So ask colleagues, especially those are dealing with customers directly, because those are the ones that know, in my opinion, the most about the product, because they have skin in the game. I mean, they're breathing customer feedback, so they know exactly what their customers like, they don't like. Talk to existing clients, talk to past clients, why they've left. And that's super valuable information that can help you build a partner program. Talk to lost leads and lost prospects. Like, why did they end up going? Again, my sales background kind of coming back a little bit here, but talk to those companies that ended up going with a competitor. Why? And also, if you can, talk to potential partners that are already using your product. So companies that have approached you with some sort of partnership, and they were able to start using the product on their customer base, and talk to them and see why they chose you. And most importantly, and if it's possible, talk to potential partners who are already using a competitor. So that means companies that fit your criteria for what a partner will look like, but instead of using your product, they're using a competitor. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because asking questions, that's what eventually led me to launching a partner program that works and that's currently working well at the company. One of the things that I did a few years ago was to sit down with a bunch of different agencies. Those were agencies that were already using ReferralCandy, agencies that were not aware of ReferralCandy, and also agencies that were using a ReferralCandy competitor. And I just asked them a series of questions about what they're looking for in partner programs. So when they approach a tech company, or when a tech company approaches them and kind of like proposes some sort of partnership or collaboration, especially one in which the agency is the one using the products on their customers, what are they looking for in that collaboration, and what's something that they want to get out of the partnership? And that's what eventually led us to get information that allowed us to build a partner program based on certain values that our previous partner program weren't based on. So, and I'll actually close the presentation with
one moment, please. Sorry to interrupt again. Your screen is a little blurred.
Oh, again?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna try again too.
Yes, sure.
It's weird. The video's going well, right? It's just
yes, it is. Yeah.
Weird. Okay. Are we back?
Yes, it's good now. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Lesson number 3. Again, don't get blinded by your inner salesperson. And this is not something that's happened to me. Not only to me. I mean, I've talked to a lot of partner managers or people that work in the partnership departments at tech companies, and they've all had this kind of feeling when they first joined a partnership team that partnerships had more to do with sales than anything else, that they had to treat partners the same way that you treat a sales prospect. And it's true, because the thing about partner management is that it's this weird hybrid between marketing and sales. And I hope that the screen it's clear right now, and you can kind of see all the little letters that I put in there at the moment. But yeah, I mean, the partner management has a lot of different aspects that makes it this weird hybrid between sales, marketing, and also customer support. So if you ask a lot of different people in my circle and ask them what I do, they'll probably all say something different. And the reality is that, at least again in my experience, partner management involves more marketing and customer support than sales. When I first joined ReferralCandy, I started reaching out to agencies and trying to get them on board through a cold email campaign. I realized that wasn't the right channel. It turns out the right channel is to have a call to action on website, have a section on your website where partners can go to create content, create case studies, basically inbound marketing. Get these partners to reach out to you because they're going to find your product, they're going to find your partner program, and then they'll reach out to you, and you'll have much more curated and much more relevant leads joining your partner program. You'll have more meaningful conversations than if you reach out to a company out of the blue about a product that they may or may not need. So and that was about marketing. Customer support, that actually takes quite a lot of my time as well. What I ended up doing, one of the things that I do is that I oversee our agency's customers' accounts. So I look at their referral programs, see how they're doing. I proactively reach out to my partners with suggestions for their clients' referral programs, and so they can improve it. Because at the end of the day, if their client, which is also my client, is happy, pretty much everybody in the whole collaboration is happy. So that's kind of like the number one thing, is to make sure that the customer that you and your partner are serving are happy at the end of the day. So again, more marketing and more customer support than sales, at least on my end.
Yep.
Also, kind of a call to action for employers. I've come across a lot of companies that have talked to me about ideas on how to hire somebody for a partnership position, or if I knew somebody for a partnership position. And I typically get this feeling that they want to hire somebody experienced for the address book. And in this case, hiring somebody for a partnership position in which they have to either build a partner program or attract partners, hiring somebody for the address book, it's not necessarily going to work, in the sense that at the end of the day, the success of your referral program, it's largely going to depend
Raul,
on the
sorry to interrupt you again.
No worries. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I think the screen is getting blurred again, and I thought the camera is glitching as well.
Okay, I'm gonna restart the actual Google. Let me see.
Yes, sure.
Okay, let's see if it gets any better now. Hopefully we're still on time. Looks like we are, I guess.
We are, no problem.
Okay, cool.
Okay, I think it's still a little blurred. Could you maybe stop sharing the screen and then start again? That should help.
Okay, I'll do that real quick.
Yeah, I apologize. I have to interrupt so many times.
No. I mean, actually, I appreciate the fact that you're telling me this, because otherwise,
Yes.
people wouldn't be able to see the screens. Is it working now?
Yes, it's good now. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Okay. So yeah, like I said, at the end of the day, the success of your partner program will eventually depend on the value that your product provides. That's going to be the baseline. A better partner manager or worse can do something to improve it on top of that, but the baseline, the product, is what will define the long-term success of your program. If your product's not good, a partner program with a good payout system or a good support system or good assets for your partners to go out and sell your product, they're not going to help if the product isn't there. So it's something to obviously to keep in mind. Lesson number 4: obsess about your partner's customers, which are also your own customers. Probably the best way to connect with your own partners, as I mentioned earlier, is to make sure that your customers and their customers, again, shared customers, are extremely happy with the product. Something that you need to keep in mind is that when you're in a partnership in which your partner is going out there and selling your product or recommending your product to a customer base, their reputation is on the line as well. They are the ones that are basically having skin in the game, and they are telling their client, look, I think this is the best product for you. And if the product ends up not working or not giving the results that they expected, the client's not only gonna get mad at the product, but also gonna get mad at the agency, in this case, at the partner. So again, remember that when somebody is making a recommendation, their reputation it's on the line, and they're putting skin in the game in the collaboration. And then lastly, lesson number 5. And again, this might not apply to some of you who are in the enterprise business, but again, in these cases, when you're working with resellers or when you're working with kind of like enterprise type of sales, money is a deal breaker. But at least in the kind of like the ecosystem that I work with, it really isn't. And so I don't know if you guys remember at the beginning, I mentioned that I spent a few months interviewing agencies that knew about ReferralCandy, that didn't know about ReferralCandy, that were
sorry again.
Yeah.
I think
once again?
Yes, it is.
Okay. One more time.
It's really strange.
Yeah.
My thing gets blurred at times.
That's very weird. Oh well, I mean, now at least now we know that that we can just is it good now?
Yes, cool. Clear. Thank you.
So yeah, I'll try to run, because I know we have only a few minutes left. Yes. So yeah, so these were kind of like the findings from my interviews to partners that were already using ReferralCandy, potential partners that were not aware of ReferralCandy, and then also potential partners that were actually using a competitor. And when I asked those companies what are they looking for in a partner program, this is what they answered. So the baseline of any collaboration is that the product needs to fit the needs of the client. It has to solve a problem. The product has to be not only good in terms of pricing, in terms of kind of like setup and technological solution, but also has to solve the problem for the client. If the product doesn't work for the client, nobody's going to want to join a partner program. So again, results have to be there. The client needs to be happy, and these 3 steps are the actual baseline. This is something that your product needs to be able to fit. Without this, you can't really move up in the pyramid and actually build the actual partner program on top of that, which is, for example, having a dedicated account manager, which is something that we offer our agencies. Is they're going to work directly with me. I'm going to be their main point of contact. So if they need a product demo, if they need some sort of assistance, if they need access to different assets about ReferralCandy, they'll have me. They'll have one person that they can go to, and somebody that knows them and their clients. They're going to have priority support, in the sense that, again, if something urgent happens with any of their clients' accounts, they're going to be able to reach out to this person and get, again, more like accelerated support. And then lastly, commissions. Lastly, some sort of affiliate payout, some sort of payback. We've even had agencies that didn't want it because they didn't want to look in front of their clients. So again, this is the pyramid.
One moment.
Yes.
Sorry, that screen's gone blurred again.
Oh, okay. Anyway, yeah, that was actually my last slide. So hopefully we can just keep it at that one. But yeah, that's it. I mean, that's kind of like the pyramid of different needs that we have seen that partners are looking for in a partner program. And again, again, this might vary from company to another, from industry to another, but at least in the e-commerce SaaS business, this is what I've seen, and this is something I kind of share with other partner managers, and they've tend to agree. So yeah, kind of a summary of what we discussed today, kind of like the 5 things that I've learned in the past 5 years. So do not make any assumptions. Instead, ask questions to anybody around you and anybody around your company to find the truth and find the right angle for your partner program. Do not get blinded by your inner salesperson. Building a partner program is not building a sales funnel. It's more about marketing and support than sales. You need to obsess about your partners' customers, which are also your customers, but that's the bottom line for everybody involved in the relationship. And then again, money isn't necessarily a deal breaker. It really depends on the industry and the setup that you have as a company.
Yep.
But at least in my experience, it's not really the main motivator for an agency to join your company and join the company's partner program. That was pretty much it. Hope that we still have time for some questions. And yeah, sorry about the technical difficulties. I'm not really sure what happened with the slides. But yeah, available for any questions.
All right, let's wait for the audience.
There's also my email address. So if there are any questions after the session, if anybody wants to connect, they can just email me directly there.
Yes, and if there are any questions from the audience that that we have missed out, we'll ensure we send them to you, Raul, and you can have that answer as well. So, Raul, how do you what do you think the future is for partner marketing? Because we've seen partnership teams grow in companies over the last few years. So, what do you think partner marketing would look like in the next 5 years?
Yeah, so I see a lot more collaborations between companies.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of like how to tap each other audiences. So, I mean, we're pretty much seeing that across the board, that customer acquisition costs are rising. So companies are getting creative on how to acquire customers and how to basically set up experiments that could potentially pay off very well with small or little investment. And so building a partner program is something that in the long term it can really pay out very well. And also doing some co-marketing collaborations, that's something that we're starting to see. I mean, the SaaS world, we've seen it forever. There's always been collaborations between SaaS companies, but we're starting to see that as well in the e-commerce world. So e-commerce brands are collaborating with each other because they're selling to the same audience and they're not selling competitive products. So I think that's kind of where things are going, in the sense that companies are starting to realize that they need to get a little bit creative in terms of customer acquisition, and partnerships. It's one of those experiments that it can pay out very well in the long run if done well. So and it has kind of like little downside, and also the kind of like the barrier entry for that, it's pretty low.
That's great. Thank you so much for answering the question, Raul. All right, so that brings us to the end of the session. And thank you so much, Raul, for joining us. And I apologize for the technical difficulties. We're glad to have hosted you. Thank you so much.